It's midweek, I'm in midlife, let's ramble. Grab something warm and cozy to drink and join me this week as I talk about how to get enough protein in your diet if you're just not a lover of meat. I'm that person, I really struggle, so I'm going to talk about a few tips and tricks to help you along the way. See you soon. Hi everyone, Amanda here. I have had such a great response from the last two videos that I have done, my midweek ramblings. I think I can say it now, so I don't think I need to change the name of it. I really like it. I think you feel like we're just chatting, and that was the purpose of the whole series, and so long may it continue. Okay, today in my typical cup, I always use this cup. But you know why? It's red on the inside, and I once watched a YouTube video, so it must be science, all about how to make the perfect cup of tea because I'm obsessed with tea. People who drink their tea in a red cup prefer it more, or it was just a more enjoyable cup of tea. And I have to say, anything that's got a red inside, I go for. I mean, it's science, so just suck it up. Anyway, I am drinking today tea from David's Tea. And it's called Super Ginger. And now David's Tea went bankrupt, but for some reason they've opened up a few more stores again, and I don't fully understand why. And this is my favorite tea from them, and they sell it in tea bags now. I don't know if you can see this, and it's got organic ginger, organic green rooibos, black pepper, white pepper, organic pink pepper, and some stevia in. Oh my God, it's so lovely and it's so comforting. And I'm going to talk about some health woes. I had a virus just before I went to Peru in November. I had a cough, and I think it was RSV. And then when I got back from Peru, I got COVID, which turned into a bacterial infection. La-di-da-di-da-di. It was very upsetting. But I had this cough, and this cough has been going on since the 1st of November, and it's been distressing. Anyway, I have GERD, which is an acid reflux disease, and I think it happened after I had long COVID. Regardless, I have to be very careful what I eat, not too much coffee, which is a great problem for me, and alcohol. All of those things really upset my stomach, and so apparently it's kicked off again with this virus. The acid is respirating into my lungs, giving me a shortness of breath and a sickly feeling, a nausea feeling. So anything with ginger in, I'm just consuming, and I find this really a nice alternative while I can't drink my coffee. So I hope you're drinking coffee on my behalf and feeling sorry for me, because I'm feeling sorry for me. I have a few things to talk about today. First of all, a little bit of admin. I have released 2 videos, and they're on YouTube, and they will be linked here. And one is a workout and one is a core exercise. Now, when I do any core exercises or ab exercises, part of me is like a bit, you don't want to work anything in isolation. But what we do know about working the abs or the core is that when you have a stable, functioning and mobile base, everything else becomes easier. And when I talk about the core, I'm talking about imagine if you chopped your arms and your legs off and you were left with just the middle, bob. That's the old joke, isn't it? Bob up and down in the water. That's the core. So all of that has to be stable, but it also has to be reactionary. So imagine if you fall, you want to catch yourself. It has to have functional movement to it. So when I release exercises on Instagram, the reason I do them is because I want women to really understand how it feels to have a strong, functioning core, and how, when that happens, all other exercises become so much easier. Even if you're not into strength training, it translates well to running, it translates well into swimming and cycling, just having this functional entity in the middle. So this exercise here starts off in a quadruped position, and you lift the knees up off the floor about 2 inches. Now, that on its own is a really challenging exercise, and I personally find it more challenging than a plank. The plank, you've just got the ability to create more strength just from the lower position to the floor and being able to drive the toes and the hands into the floor. But this one, because your knees are lifted, it really digs in deep into those lower they're called transverse abdominis muscles. And so it's a little bit more challenging to do, and you've got to really try and brace the core when you do it. And so I always say, imagine if I'm punching you in the tummy and you brace. Well, that's how you need to sort of start in this position. And so you can start with the knees raised, and then slowly you'll realize that, you know, you're feeling a bit more stable, and you can maybe lift one hand off the floor, maybe one foot off the floor, and it challenges your stability then, and you've got to resist the rotation. So anyway, have a go at that one. Let me know what you think. My friend in Sweden, who is a trainer, got her class of about 40 people to do it, and it was so nice for me to see. So I'm glad that someone's using it. The second one is a countdown exercise. I've decided to call all my workouts by unused or not so popular female names. So this one's called Mildred, and it seems to have tickled your fancy. It's a countdown workout, and the reason I like countdown workouts is because when you're in that frame of mind where you're just not sure about doing a workout and you can't decide if you want to do it, well, having a countdown starting from the top down can just give you that mental motivation to be able to have a go. So this one essentially is 14 squats with the dumbbells in the rack position here, and going as low as you can. And then we're doing 7, so we go from 14 and then half that 7, so alternate hand overhead raises, and then a bent over row, 7 each side, and then 4 bicep curls. And the bicep curls are just a bit of fun. We can get our gun show on for the summer, but then we do 14 down to 12, down to 10, 8, 6, 4, all the way down to 2. It's linked here. Have a go. It's actually very accessible. You can do it body weight, you can do it heavier weights, you can adjust it how you need to, but the concept of countdown workouts is great. It's one of my favorites, one of my go-tos, and so I hope you like it too. Okay, so if you're strength training, you need to ensure that you have enough protein within your dietary intake to help with muscle protein synthesis. So what's muscle protein synthesis? It's the ability to take proteins in their finite form, which is an amino acid. You may have heard of that. And this amino acid goes through this process that allows muscles that have broken down, which is what happens when we use them in the strength training program, to rebuild and rebound. And it needs the stimulus from these amino acids to make it work. What we see in the aging population, and through menopause it's accelerated, is that our ability to hang on to the muscle that we've got and to build new muscle is severely impaired. And people always say to me, well, I don't have any muscle, it's just like layers and layers of fat. But you do, otherwise your bones would just all collapse, of course. And it's really important. If we don't have this skeletal mass, this skeletal strength as we get older, that's how we see, you know, these women that fall and can't get back up. They end up in long-term facilities, because, I mean, this is obviously the older population, but the work starts now. So with the strength training, eating adequate protein is so important. But if you're like me and you really struggle with eating large quantities of meat, then how do you get your protein sources? I've never really enjoyed meat. I'm not a vegetarian. I eat chicken and I eat some pork reluctantly, but I eat bacon, and that might be it, but I like fish. So they're clearly sources of lean protein that I would push you towards. But what happens when you can't, like, you don't want to eat those all the time, or you're trying to reduce the amount of meat protein you're eating, or you're trying to have a more heavily plant-based protein diet? How does that translate? So I thought I'd give you some ideas of what that might look like, and how you might include that in everyday meals that you make. So what I would say is, most people don't know how much protein to eat, and I think in week 1 I said just go for about 100 grams. And the numbers change all the time. The recommended daily amount is very, very low, and it really is only adequate for someone who is sedentary. But for an active woman, especially one that wants to do strength training, you need to make sure that you're supporting your body nutritionally. So the question is often asked, how much protein to eat? So if you're, say, a 130-pound woman, your weight in kilograms is going to be about 60 kilograms. And so 1.6 to 2.2 of that is about 100 grams. But if you're a 200 pound woman, 240 pound woman, you're you're going to be in the range of like 100 kilograms. That's a lot of protein to consume, and it doesn't seem valid to me. And so what a lot of professionals are recommending is that you base your protein on your ideal body weight or your lean body mass. Now, if you don't know your lean body mass, which not many of us do unless we've had DEXA scans or in-body scans, go for what your ideal weight is. And I'm telling you, after years and years of experience, it's around 100 grams of protein a day. And I think there's a range between 80 and 110 that we should work within. Okay, protein is in everything we eat. So it's in legumes, it's in grains, it's in vegetables, right? And it's in dairy. And so when you know that if you have a really good varied diet, you're probably getting enough protein. And if you're not, there are ways to sort of sneak a little bit extra in. What I would say to you is this: our body doesn't store protein. Our proteins circulate throughout our body, and it's really good to sort of like start the day with a protein meal so that it circulates throughout the whole day, so we don't get those sugar dips. Protein helps stabilize sugar and just helps us feel a little bit more satisfied with our meals. So for example, what I do is I have porridge on a breakfast, oatmeal if you're from North America, and I stir in a little bit of whey protein powder, or any protein powder could be added to that, or some Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has about 15 to 18 grams of protein per cup. So you put a spoonful or two and mix that through. There's ways to sort of make this like an easy process. I'm not a fan of all of like the protein pancakes or anything, but they're out there too, and they're often vegetarian friendly, maybe vegan friendly. So outside the lean meats like turkey, chicken, and some salmon and fish and all of those things, tuna's another good one. Think about things like cottage cheese, legumes, and if we think about half a cup or a cup of beans, if we made a vegetarian chili, there's a huge amount of protein there, about 20 grams of protein in there. So that's a real adequate amount. And if you think that you probably have 4 meals a day, like 3 meals and a snack, you're easily going to reach 80 grams of protein purely from the bean sauce going throughout the day. You don't want to eat that many beans, of course, but remember, it's in the vegetables. There's protein within the rice as well, just smaller amounts, but they do make a difference. And especially if you're vegan looking to get adequate protein sources, because there's not complete protein in vegan foods, if you pair up your vegetables with your legumes and your grains, you're going to end up trying getting almost a complete protein source. So look to add a variety of foods within each of your meals as well, just to try and, top up those protein sources. I'm a huge fan of protein powders because I just think they're a super easy way of getting extra protein in, and some protein bars too. So the whey powder that I use is just from Women's Best. I can stick a link down here. I use the unflavored whey powder, and it's whey isolate. They also do a vegan protein too. Full disclosure, if you do use this link, then I do get a kickback, but I think it's probably like 25 cents or something. I've never even looked. It's that insignificant. I'll use that in two ways. I'll sometimes mix it into my oatmeal in the morning, or I'll have a protein shake. I tend not to have too many protein shakes. I'm not a huge fan. And as far as protein bars are concerned, I eat 3 meals a day and a snack. And for my snack, if I haven't had like a piece of cheese and egg or some ham and some fruit or stuff like that, I'll just have a protein bar. And I want to show you one of my favorites. I've just ordered these, and look, they sent me this really cute tin. Can you see? These are Built bars, and I'll link these below as well. So I really like Built bars. I find them not to be grainy. I find them to be almost like a chocolate bar. My absolute favorite protein bar that I love and I can't get in Canada is called Bear Bells. I'm going to link them up here, and you can buy them in Trader Joe's. Oh God, how much I miss Trader Joe's so badly. Anyway, so Bear Bells have a salted peanut, and it's like a Snickers bar, and it's 25 grams of protein, and it's about 130-40 grams calories, so it's not super high calorie either. But let me show you these Built bars. They have the traditional ones, and I love this one. It's a coconut brownie. I don't know if you can see this one. A coconut brownie, and it's 160 calories, 15 grams of protein. No problem, that's nice and easy. This one is, they have these granola bars, and these granola bars are new and they're so yummy. And again, this one has, I can't see, 150, 15 grams. And then these ones, these are called built puffs. And I'm going to show you what they're like inside. So these ones are 140 calories, 17 grams of protein. And now I'm going to have to eat this because like I've broken it up inside. You can see it's like marshmallow inside, and I've had it in the fridge. Oh, I can't even open that. I'm going to take a bite. It was so good. I'll be back in a minute. Let me just finish eating that. Anyway, I really like these, and I have them in the house all the time. And especially if I've done a workout, because sometimes I do my workout on the afternoon and I need a little something as soon as I finished working out to tide me over. So there you have it. I don't think you really need to overthink protein, but I think you need to have an awareness, and I think that that's enough. I personally struggle to meet 100 grams every day. I do strength training. I'm still maintaining my muscle mass, probably building some muscle too. It really is the stimulus that you need. You just need to make sure you've got the fuel to go along with it. And if it's not a preferred food choice for you, then it can be difficult to overconsume it. But definitely start looking for it at every meal, and you know, start the day with some protein in your diet, and just look for it every time you eat, even if it's a small amount, because it's a habit that you need to build. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I want to talk to you about something I did this week. I went out with some friends to the pictures, to the movies. It's been ages since I've been, because I didn't want to go because of COVID, but there is a local director in Toronto called Sarah Polly. She's pretty well known here. I wonder if you've heard of her, but she just did a movie that I saw nominated at the Golden Globes. Yay, but she didn't get it, but still it was great to see a nomination from a Toronto director who is menopausal as well, same age as us. And the movie is called Women Talking, and it's based on the Miriam Tow's book. I think that's how you pronounce Miriam's name, Miriam Tow's book. It's all about women in a cult. It's based on true life incidences that happened where women were drugged and sexually assaulted in their sleep, and they fight back. And while this is the type of topic that usually comes with sort of trigger warnings, and you know, like it can really upset a lot of people, obviously, the way she did this movie was so respectful and so smart. It was based in the barn of the land where these women lived within this religious cult, and they just, every woman had a voice, and they came up with a plan based on escaping or fighting the men who were keeping them there and raping them. But it was just one of those movies that left me with so many, like, we had massive discussions, you know, we all started talking about it afterwards. Anyway, I highly recommend that you see it. I mean, it may have some upsetting scenes in it, but the way she did it to me was very respectful. And these things happen, and if we can touch on them in a platform like that, or in a medium like that, in a way that has people having open discussions, then I think we should do it. Some amazing performances in it too. So anyway, that's my and I tend to go for these darker type of topics. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm quite a light-hearted, fun person, but the books I read, the music I listen to, and the movies I watch are all dark and pretty hardcore. I don't know why that is, but that's me. Okay, on to something a little bit lighter. So where am I with my knitting projects? Oh, I need to share a couple of things with you. So first of all, I sort of want to talk to you about why I knit. You know, I struggled a lot with depression through menopause without knowing it was depression. And it sometimes lurks in the background. You know, it's one of those things that is there often. I talk about this in my book, Menopocalypse, quite a lot. I'm very candid about it. When I'm in it, I don't like to talk about it, but afterwards I feel like I've got the capacity. And I find that my creative side, like the knitting, even making videos like this, very helpful for me because I find them like almost a type of meditation. I'm super in the process, I'm mindful, and it's calming. It's so calming for me. I honestly think it's one of the best things I do. Anything creative for me gives me that calming feeling. I wonder if you feel the same way. You probably do, because it's one of, I think we all have those outlets. Like, I need to exercise. I need to exercise because it just feeds my soul. I love feeling capable. I love feeling strong. And I obviously love the endorphin hit afterwards. Anyway, so my projects at the moment, right? So I am in a gift club at Christmas where we all make items and we do a gift trade. So I was trying to think of something that I could do for December this year. Now, I know that seems a long way off, but I always panic at the end, and I thought if I could do a little bit of something every month, that would be great. Anyway, I came up with these. So have a look through. We have these colourful half and half washcloths. Now, when you look at these washcloths, they're beautiful. Like, I love this one here, this particular one with the stripes, the blue, the cream, the peach, the red, the yellow. And I thought about doing a series of 3 or 4 of them and bundling them up and, you know, see how cute they are when they're folded. But these are knitted. So knitting these takes a bit longer, which is why I thought I'd start doing them now. And as you can see, they've got like a little eye cord on so you can hang them up. So I bought the materials, but I didn't buy the materials that were on this website because this is their own yarn and it's expensive, and I wanted to do it now. I didn't want to wait for the yarn to arrive. So I just went to Michael's and bought the cotton yarn that you make dishcloths with. And I did the first one. I couldn't get the right colour yellow, but I did the first one and it's way bigger than I wanted it to be. Did I do the eye cord? Yes, I did. I've just finished this. I haven't sewn it in. So I did the eye cord, so that will obviously loop. One of the lovely features on it is this center part. I love this, the way this is, but I don't really love this yellow. But I've realized doing this that I don't want to do, if I have to do 7 of these, and I was going to do, that's 20, I don't want to knit 28 of these. So I'm going to look for a crocheted version of these, or I'm going to design my own crocheted version of these because I can crochet these up in a day or 2. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to weave the ends in, and I'm going to obviously sew the hook on. And I'm going to use this as a washcloth because I do love cotton washcloths. So anyway, I think that'll look cute in my bathroom. And it's a nice look. I might make a couple to go with it so I have the series. But I think for my gift exchange in December, which I know is a long time away, that I'm going to do something else. So my next project is this one. So this is Petite Knit. I believe they're a Danish company. And this is called the Stockholm Slipover. And I love it. Look at this. Look at the beautiful design of it. And I thought that this would look so nice in the blue that I bought from, the blue alpaca wool that I bought from Peru. And what I like about this is the way that the neckline falls, and it just looks so cute. Look how nice that is. I absolutely love it. So I started knitting it. And look what happened. Oh my goodness, I don't know. You start this one from the top down, and then you do the back, and then you do the front, and then you join it and you knit down, and then you add the rib on afterwards. And I twisted it, and I don't know how I twisted it. Oh, it was a nightmare. So I had to pull all of that out, and then I had to re-knit it. So, it was very frustrating, but I'm at the stage now, and I'm telling you, this doesn't look like anything because it never does until it's worked a little bit more and it's blocked. But this is the color I'm going to use. And I'm super excited about it. I just love this wool. This wool is just so lovely. I bought it in the Sacred Valley in Peru. I call this Amanda Blue, and I call it Amanda Blue because it's one of my favorite colors, and I know it works well with me. It works well with most colors, most people, sorry. It's one of those really lovely colors, and I have lots of this. I bought a lot and it was so cheap. Alpaca wool is very expensive, and I think I bought enough to make about 3 of these for maybe 50 or 60 US dollars. A real bargain. So I pulled this all out and I restarted it again, and it's coming along nicely. So I'm hoping that by next week when you come on, I've maybe made some progress with that, and I'll maybe put it on for you and you can see, you know, how that looks. So yeah, so that's my projects for now. So if you enjoyed this show, I'd love you to subscribe. I've got a bunch of new followers, so that was really nice. Give me a little thumbs up, a like, and subscribe, and please comment. I like this platform for replying to comments. It just feels really nice to have these conversations, so thank you. And thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.